Hi guys, it's Clinton here from Bat and Ball Cricket. Thanks for checking in for this episode. This is my most requested video each year. It's the What's in My Kit Bag video. Alright guys, let's have a look at what's in my kit bag for season 2020-21 for the Australian summer. Alright guys, let's get in. Right guys, so the first thing you can see is a brand new kit bag from the guys at Bluedogs Sports. This is my third kit bag from them, and each time the new version of the bag is just better than the one before it. I really find it difficult to believe that there was a better bag than this one on the market at this particular value point. So guys, let's go around the external pockets to start off with. Starting over here on the front, this is probably my most important pocket considering how fair I am. The sunscreen, zinc, etc. pocket. I also have in here, glasses cleaning cloth that goes into my pocket when I'm playing. Some eye drops, which are quite helpful when you wear contact lenses. So those various bits and pieces quite important. Coming across, this is the odds and sods, bits and bods. So a lot of it's first aid. So KT tape, cold spray, strapping tape, medical pouch. So, Band-Aids, ibuprofen, paracetamol, spare contact lenses, those kind of things. Spare spikes for my shoes, and then something that I've incorporated into my kit this year is a playing journal. One of the most difficult things to do as an amateur player is if you find yourself out of form is how do you get back there? What did you do? This is where a journal can be exceptionally helpful to you. For you to go back and read exactly what you were doing when you were making runs. Nice tip that I picked up from the guys at Cricket Mentoring. As we move across to this third pocket, this is my sunglasses pocket. So I have my Oakley Prism cricket lens that I've been using for the last couple of years, and then also my just generalised Jade Iridium lens that I found. I originally played in the Jade Iridium, but found it wasn't, that I didn't see the ball all that well. As we spin around, the next thing you see is there is actually a foot on the bottom of the bag that can be used to stand the bag up. I carry too much stuff in the order that I carry it, doesn't allow that to work, but I really like that as a feature because I quite often put a hole in the bottom, in that bottom pocket. Alright guys, on this side, is a full-length, fairly large pocket which allows you to store even more stuff. So, some used match balls. For whatever reason, in Queensland Premier Cricket, the lower grades fields tends to be either near little creeks or rivers or like drains and waterways. So it's not unusual for us to lose a couple of balls a season into the drink, and you need to have a couple of different balls at a couple of different ages so that you can replace that if need be. I've also got a gripping cone and some spare grips. Nothing worse than having a blowout on the day and not being able to fix it. This one hasn't got used this year with COVID being in and around the world, but it was a little bag with just a couple of coins, which I haven't used because most places are now asking for contactless payments. And the last one in here, guys, is a little towel. So nothing worse than the ball picking up some dew, being some showers around and not being able to keep the ball nice and dry. So having that one in there is quite important. Alright guys, as we jump inside the bag, thing to point out first of all are these two handles on top. I was always struggling to get my old bags into the car, but these handles on top make it great and make it so easy to get your bag into the car. Now, opening the bag up, on the top here, I've actually got what looks like a couple of pockets. It's not actually a case. This one's actually just a small pocket to get inside. This one up here is a valuables pocket, I would assume. I don't really use that pocket, and that's for the reason for that is that when you open up the bag, it has a tendency to be a big flap. And there's nothing worse than having your iPhone in there when you flip the backpack and breaking it. So I don't actually use it for that, but it's a good little pocket that would be quite helpful. Alright guys, jumping inside. First things off, scorer's satchel. For the scorebook, quite an important piece for cricket keeping score. Now we have my bag of hats. So my floppy hat, or my wide brim hat, is what I spend most of the time in the field, and then I also have my main match hat, as well as then just a backup just in case. Next one then is my club towel. My club is pretty good at doing some practical trophies, and this was the award for a bowling award a couple of seasons ago. This is my clothing bag, 2 full sets of clothes inside this one. A set of pants for batting that are a little bit longer, because I hate your pants coming up from that ankle strap, and then a set of set of pants for bowling. 2 shirts in here. Now previously I had a long sleeve shirt and a short sleeve shirt. Starting off this season, I'd realised that I hadn't actually used my long sleeve shirt in a match for a long time, and so decided to shorten it up, so 2 short sleeve shirts. One of those I use exclusively for batting. The other I use for bowling, and the batting shirt if I'm not intending to be batting or won't be likely to be batting that day. Having a fresh shirt to put on is quite nice. A couple of socks, arm sleeves, sweatbands, those kind of things also in there. All right, guys, jumping inside head to toe. Let's start up the top. My helmet. So in here I am continuing to utilise the Shrey Pro-Guard Titanium. This version is now discontinued by the guys at Shrey. It's a custom version, so that's an embroidered logo prior to the manufacturing of the helmet. I've had this helmet for about 4 seasons now. Very trustworthy and a really good quality helmet. Coming down the body to the hands, new set of glove bags this year. These have got the same set of gloves in them, or the same style of gloves in them. We've got the B3 traditional style batting gloves. These are a sausage design batting glove from the guys at B3. You tend to see the pros generally have a preference for the sausage design, and I'm quite a traditionalist when it comes to those. I just think the sausage finger gloves actually just look and feel better. All right, as we continue to come down the body to the thigh and groin region. First off, I've got the Shock Doctor Titanium Groin Protector paired with a Gray-Nicolls jock strap. I do have a small bit of leather over there, as that tends to be a hot spot where I wear through the jock strap for whatever reason. And by putting that on, I just get a good, large amount of life out of a jock strap. When it comes to thigh protection, I've got the Remfry outer and inner thigh pad. These guys are, to be honest, they are quite expensive, but hands down, they are the best thigh protection you will find on the market. I would generally go through a set of thigh pads every kind of 2 seasons. These guys I've had for 2 and have been training more than what I have in previous years. And they look, other than a little bit of the fading of the black on the back, these are in perfect condition. So well worth the investment if you want really good thigh protection. Coming down the body even further to the legs, continuing to utilise the B3 3-stripe batting pads. These are the top of the range batting pads from the guys at B3. These are international quality pads, and in fact B3 did sponsor Shan Masood, one of the Pakistani opening batsmen, and these were the version of batting pads that he used while he was opening for Pakistan. Alright guys, down to shoes. The first one, fielding shoes, continuing to utilise the New Balance 4040s. So these are last year's version. Pairing with that are the New Balance CK10. These are the batting or slow bowler's shoe. It's a lot lighter in weight. Of course, I've got these set up as a half spike, just to reduce the weight a little bit. Good quality shoe from the guys at New Balance. All right, last 2 things to include in here, but by no means are they least. My 2 bats. Now, this one you've seen before. This is my B3 3-stripe LE. This is a Bespoke shape. So this one was a bat that was off one of their sponsored pros, Steve Mullany. This was his shape for the 2016 county season, and this is not the original bat that I got from the guys at B3. This is a copy of that bat. So the guys at B3 have a great process whereby there's a number on the handle. And if you pick up a bat that you think is just absolutely perfect, you'll see you can just quote that number and say, I'll have one exactly like that, and they can produce it down to that measurement. The one that you haven't seen before is this guy. This one is a Imperium. So this is one of the new series. This was previously it was called a series, the series range. They've updated with names, and this year with the Imperium was a bat predominantly designed for the Southern Hemisphere. This one is, I'm going to say it is only a 3-stripe. So this one is actually a grade below this one, but this bat performs exceptionally well, and it's only because of this little bit of marking through sort of just above the sweet spot. There's a little bit of knotting there. It does not impact the performance of the bat whatsoever. The bat performs exceptionally well, potentially even better than what my LE is. And this is the bat that I've been using as my match bat for the majority of the summer. Alright guys, so that concludes the What's in My Kit Bag for season 2020-21. Thanks for checking in for this particular video. If you do have any questions or any comments on anything that you have seen, please don't hesitate in dropping those down into the comments section. Finally, if you haven't hit that subscribe button already, please do so. Don't forget the notification bell. I'm also on Instagram, so don't forget to head down to the description area and follow the links to find Bat and Ball Cricket Official on Instagram. I do release different material there, so please check that out. Alright guys, this is Clinton from Bat and Ball Cricket, and we'll catch you again in the next instalment. Bye for now.